Customers. To access the customer screen, select the Sales menu and the Customer screen icon. In the Customer screen, you can easily see all of your customer activity and transactions in one place. This includes bookings, pickups, invoices, payments, etc. You can also generate and email customer documents, such as account statements, invoices, and booking confirmations. In the main customer screen, we show you a little overview of the customer account. So in this example, we have two customers, Andrea Seeds and John Seeds. So I can see here for Andrea Seeds, the contact name is Andrea Smith. She's from Brandon in province of Manitoba, and this is the overall account balance. So at any time in this screen, you can always see your accounts receivable activity. Another action you can perform in the screen is you can go and you can view account statements by selecting the View Account Statement action. When selected, an account statement will launch. From here, you can print or save the account statement to send to your customer. You can also email your account statement directly to your customer by selecting the Email Account Statement action. When selected, a window will open. From here, I can add my own comment if I wish. That will be included in the body of the email. I can also include myself on the email by selecting Copy Me to the default CC email account. And when I select Send, the account statement will be sent to my customer. Another action performed here is I can view the changes for this customer account. So if I select the View Changes action, a window will appear. As with all records in seedtrakr, I can view all of the changes and who made the changes and when. So for example, this customer was added by Andrea on May 24th, 2017. On May 29th, I can see that changes were made to this customer account. I can also download my customer details to Excel. So if I select the Download Customer Details to Excel action, an Excel report will be generated with all of my customer details, including their address. Let's walk through adding a new customer. To add a new customer in seedtrakr, it's really easy. You just select the Add Customer action. When selected, you'll be asked to enter the company details, such as business name, address, etc. We can also enter in here the contact details for that company. So maybe the first name, the last name, you can add an email address for that customer. Now note that the email addresses that you add in here on your customer accounts is the email address that we use to email documents to them. You can also set individual payment terms for the customer account. Now remember, in the company settings screen, we're able to set default payment terms. In here, if you don't want this customer to use the default payment terms, you can set them individually on the customer account. So for example, I'll set this one to net 30. Additional info. I can track whatever details I would like for this customer here. So maybe there's some specific notes on a delivery location or whatever it might be, but you can put anything that you'd like in here. The additional info stays with the customer account and does not push to any other documents. When you're done, you can just select Save, and the customer account will be added to the system. Let's walk through viewing the customer details. To view your customer details, just simply select the Customer Details action. When selected, the system will take you into the customer details for that specific account. Now, notice on the left-hand side, we give you a little summary of the account balance, the payment terms, the company name. On the right-hand side, we show you their address and phone number. Now, along the top here, we have a series of actions. So the first one is Edit Customer. It just opens up the Add New Customer window so you can make edits and make changes to your customer. When you're done your changes, just select Save. You can also disable a customer. So by selecting the Disable Customer action, the customer will be set to inactive. Note that you cannot set a customer to inactive if they have active bookings or an outstanding account balance. View Changes. By selecting the View Changes, a window will appear to show you all the changes that happened on that customer account. So for example, I can see that this customer was added by Andrea on May 24th, 2017. I can click up on the change records to see what was changed on that account. I can also view the account statement. Over to the right of that, I can also email the account statement. I also have the option to add a payment. So in this case, you can see that my customer has an account balance of $19,500. I can simply select the Add Payment action and add a payment to the account. From here, I can set the actual payment date. I can enter cash, check, credit card, or financing. If it's a check, I can track the check number, and then I can enter the payment amount. I can also add comments to that payment if I wish. When I add the payment, it'll be applied automatically to the oldest invoice. Add credit memo. If I want to give my customer an account credit, I can do that here. Here, I can select the date of the credit amount, and any comments added to that credit as well. Again, account credits will be allocated to the oldest invoice in the system that has not been paid. I can also add a booking directly from my customer details screen. When I select it, the system will ask me if I want to open another booking for that customer. If I select yes, I can start it off here by adding the same details as I would in the booking screen. When I select save, a new booking will be launched. I can also add file attachments by selecting the View File Attachments. I can simply select the Add Attachment action. I can also choose the file that I would like to browse to. By doing so, it'll take me to my screen where I can view files to attach to my customer account. When saved, I can come back here and I can view them at any time. So perhaps you have a customer sales contract that you'd like to add to the system, or directions. You can do that here. Down below here, you'll see a series of tabs. So the first one is the Bookings tab. If I select it, I can see all of the bookings that have been processed for this customer. Whether they're open with a booked status, whether they're closed, whether they were canceled, I can track all of the bookings that I've entered into the system for that customer. I can see an overview of the booking, the booked amount, the invoiced amount, and the status. I can always link to that booking by selecting the View Booking Details. I can also view a booking confirmation, email a booking confirmation, or view the specific changes for this specific booking. The next tab is the Prepayments tab. I can add specific prepayments into my bookings. Now remember, prepayments are only applied to the booking that they've been added to. If I want to see which prepayment went to which booking, I can simply select the amount here. Notice that it's a link. When selected, if I click on it, it opens a window and it tells me which invoice this prepayment was allocated to. I can cancel a prepayment at any time, but remember, if the booking is closed, the prepayment cannot be canceled because it will be applied to the invoice. You'd actually have to cancel the invoice before you could cancel the prepayment. Active pickups. In this tab, you'll see a list of all active pickups. So what that means is I can select this View Pickup Details action and it will take me to the pickup that isn't done yet. So it gives you a list view of the pickups that you still need to deal with for that customer. Invoices tab. In this tab, you'll see a list of all of the invoices generated for that customer. You can see the date, the invoice number, the total invoice amount, total prepaid amount if there was one, the total paid amount, and the invoice status. So from here, you can view the invoice, or you can email the customer invoice, or you can cancel the invoice. Now note that you cannot cancel an invoice without first removing the payments. So for example, in this Payments tab, you can see that I have a $5,000 payment. If I click on this payment, you can see that it's attached to invoice 10017. Before I could cancel the invoice, I would first have to cancel the payment. This will show me a list of all payments ever added to that customer account. We also have credits. If you add a credit to the customer account, you can see where the credit was applied, as well as selecting the link. A window will open and it will tell you which invoice the credit was applied to. And lastly, the Account Transactions tab will show you every transaction on the customer account, all of your debits and credits. So for example, you can see here that the first transaction ever on my customer account was on May 24th, and it was a prepayment of $500. And then you can see I added another booking with another prepayment of $4,500. All the way up to the very last transaction that I had on this account was an invoice for $7,500, which left me with my ending balance of $19,500. So you can use the Account Transactions tab to track all of the movements, whether it's been a payment removed, an invoice created at any given time, to see exactly what's happened with your customer account. That's the end of the customer and customer details screens.